Hey there, in this video I'm going to cover concepts to help you manage your workload and projects a little bit more effectively. And I want to do that by talking about having a clear vision, setting some specific goals, developing your actionable strategy, and then using a work breakdown structure or WBS to achieve your goals. Okay, so why bother talking about vision? Well, this is your jumping off point for literally anything that you want to nail. It could be your projects in school or just life in general. You want to think of this as having a vision and then turning it from a hazy idea into this really crystal clear target that you're going to aim for. This is going to be your bedrock. It's the thing that you're going to base every decision on. Every strategy is based around this. In other words, it's a pretty big deal. Once you have a vision, you're going to need goals to make them actionable. And these goals are the concrete steps that bring the vision to life. But they have to be specific and measurable and time-bound. You can't say that my goal is to finish the project, but you can say that I want to finish the project by November 30th with all the core features implemented and testing completed. Let's think of it like using Google Maps. When you first open it, you might think, I want to go to Arizona, but that's just a general idea. It's only when you enter a very specific address that it suddenly becomes a goal. You'll get to see a clear route, timelines, estimated arrival times, road closures, even alternate paths. Now you have direction, steps. You have a clear endpoint, just like a well-defined goal does for your vision. With those goals, you're then going to create that strategy. That's that plan that'll bridge where you are now with where you want to be. Now the book is going to break this down into 4 steps. Starting by diagnosing the current situation, you're going to explore your different paths, decide on a specific route, and then you have to be prepared to adjust as you need to. If you use that Google Maps as the reference, you need to figure out where you are, consider all of your routes, pick one, and then adapt to any change along the way. Okay, step 1. You're going to diagnose the current situation. Start by understanding where you are right now. What's working? What's not working? What challenges are you facing? What resources do you have? This is like opening up a map and seeing your current location clearly. And you have to do that before you can decide where you need to go to next. You have to know where you stand. You can't get from point A to point B if you don't know where point A is. All right, you have that clear understanding of your starting point. Then you start looking at all of the different possible ways forward. What's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? What roads are leading to success and which ones are dead ends? It's like evaluating all those different routes on the map. Some are faster, some are scenic, and some are just risky. But then you pick that path, right? You pick the one that best aligns with your goals. And out of all of the options, it's going to be the one route that's going to get you to your destination most effectively. This is where you lay out that step-by-step plan, like choosing the best route that aligns with your time frame or your travel preferences. It all comes together here. And then finally, you move to that 4th step. You start going through that chosen path, but you're going to stay alert and prepared because you may need to adjust along the way. If you hit a roadblock, you have to reroute. If conditions change, you have to adapt. Just like that road trip where you might have to take a different turn, you have to keep your eye on the progress, and you're going to adjust as you need. Okay, so you've got your strategy, it's all laid out, you have a clear course of action, but here's the thing. Even the best strategies are going to fall apart if you don't have it organized into something manageable. This is where that work breakdown structure comes into play. The WBS is going to take your overall strategy and make it bite-sized. You'll keep everything on track. You'll make sure that everything is part of the plan and that it's directly linked to that overall goal. And then you can see that it's clear and actionable and achievable. It's like taking Google Maps and taking that route and making a turn-by-turn list, each one getting you closer and closer to your final destination. So I'm going to jump out of this display and I'm going to bring up an instance of Lucid Chart. Now this is a free version of Lucid Chart. In order to do a work breakdown, you can use anything. You can use paper and pencil, Figma, Miro, Draw.io, anything that has flowcharting capabilities will work for this. And I've done this many times just using paper and pencil. But first I'm going to bring up a board for you. So it looks like there's a bunch of tabs up here I can start with. Let me see what's on the Agile tab. Maybe under More Templates. Okay, they don't have one specifically called Work Breakdown Structure. That's okay. A WBS chart is most like an organizational chart. So I'll just type in organization chart here. Here we go. We'll go with this org chart. Alright, I don't want any of this stuff out here, so I'm just going to get rid of all of that. And I'm going to get rid of all of this too. There we go. There's our canvas that we're going to start with. Now to create your work breakdown structure, you're going to start with what the main thing is that you're trying to build. Let's pretend we're building a WBS for a game called Grumpy Grapes, a fruity adventure. Okay, this first block, this is my main goal. This is my vision. I want to end with Grumpy Grapes. But in order to do this, I need to break down my work into something that I can deal with. So maybe I need to worry about things like the concept or pre-production or even production and testing or launching. So I have several things or several groups or categories that I want to break my work into. So I'll create some blocks for each one of those. Okay, here we go. We have several categories or several groups of work that needs to be done. Now each one of these is going to need to be blown out even further. Let's take production for example. Maybe we want to break that out into two different things. We want to have a block of work for coding and maybe another block of work for all of the different art that's going to go into our work. Now each one of these is going to need to be broken out even further. But before I go too far, I want to start making my connection points between all of my blocks so that I know what my structure is. Now a WBS can get pretty complicated pretty quickly, but the goal here is to keep it high level for right now. Now maybe we want to break down our code even further. Maybe we want to work on the mechanics side, the UI side, the integration portion. We have all of these different things that we need to account for code. And we want to make sure we have all of these connections in place. We can even add a little color coding in here to sort of make things a little bit easier. Oh, Grumpy Grapes, let's go with some purple. And we're working on this production piece, so we'll fill that in. Okay, so just a quick recap. At our top we have our project. This is our main thing. And each one of these blocks represents a very critical step in our game development process. We want to keep it simple, we want to keep it high level. This helps us to see the whole project in one glance, and it makes sure that we stay on track while we're working on things. We know what our main goal is. We can see what the big picture is. There's videos out there that you can watch that talk more about creating a WBS, but I just wanted to take a couple of moments and quickly throw up an example for you. Okay, that's all I have for you for this video, but try to keep that vision clear and your goals tight and keep your tasks broken down like a pro. You got this.